Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Mick, Cornett, and Kent Meyers. We're here every week meeting interesting people and dealing with topical issues, and we're glad that you chose to join us this week. And Kent, we got an old friend back.
An old friend. I was going to call him that if you hadn't. Mike Holder. He's coming back on for his 7th appearance on The Verdict, and we want an update on OSU athletics, what's going on in Stillwater and the environs around there, and just anything Mike wants to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things happening.
It's always interesting.
We'll be right back on The Verdict.
Benjamin Franklin was inspired by the governments he found within the tribal council houses of this continent. There was no functioning model for a democracy in Europe, but Franklin was impressed with tribal councils, which had endured for centuries within North America's Indian nations. Among the southeastern tribes, the Chickasaws were a prominent example of a successful sovereign nation that met in council houses, where they listened, spoke their minds, voted, and remained united as a people. We offered proof democracy worked. So in Philadelphia, Franklin and soon other founding fathers persuaded the remaining state delegates to form a self-ruling union and sign America's Constitution. A reminder that Chickasaw history is world history in the America we share today.
The Vet Hero office at the University of Central Oklahoma, it is a one-stop shop for veterans when they're trying to get their education.
I call it my encore job. I get to take care of veterans. We help them transition. I was that guy that transitioned after 24 years, and in the end, GI Bill is a benefit that those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marine earned. It was the thing that made us the greatest country in the world coming out of World War II, and it will continue to do the same thing for this future generation of service members.
Welcome back. The set of The Verdict. Mick, Cornett, and Kent Meyers. And Kent's going to introduce today's guest.
Mike Holder is our guest today, once again, for the 7th time. We really enjoy having Mike, and I know I'm just a pest to calling him to see if he can come on, and he's awfully good about doing it when his schedule will permit, and we appreciate it. Mike, of course, is the athletic director at Oklahoma State University. He was named the athletic director a good number of years ago, 2005, I believe it was. Prior to that time, he was a head golf coach at Oklahoma State for 32 years with multiple championships. He, as athletic director, has been a leader in Oklahoma State athletics for both championships, facilities, and training good human beings who are their athletes to be good citizens. And Mike, we're really glad to have you back. It's always good to see you.
Well, you know, when you get to be my age, it's good to be anywhere. I heard in the opening you call me an old friend.
That's old friend.
Yeah, I like the friend part of that. I'm not so sure about the old.
There are always new projects. Let's talk about capital projects that you're currently focused on in Stillwater.
Yeah, you know, we're really excited about the new baseball stadium, O'Brate Stadium. We're gonna dedicate that March 20th, 2020. We're going to play TCU in that first game. That's on a Friday. I think there's a good chance we're going to get, along with Cecil O'Brate, who's the benefactor for the stadium, I think we're going to have a surprise guest come in there. I don't think I'm at liberty to say who it is yet, but throw out that first pitch with Cecil. We're going to try to make it a really special day, really special event. Cecil just turned 91 last month. He's kind of anonymous up there in Garden City, Kansas, but he gave us $35 million, so he's been working hard for the 91 years up there in Kansas, and we appreciate him. It's kind of partnering with us, buying into the vision of what we think OSU baseball could become. It's had a storied past. I think we won 16 Big 8 championships in a row. We went to the College World Series 7 years in a row under Gary Ward. Now we've got Josh Holliday and the whole Holliday clan in our leadership, on our leadership team. We've got his brother Matt, who was a 7-time All-Star in the big leagues. He's our volunteer coach. We've got Rob Walton, who was the head coach at Oral Roberts for a long time, is our pitching coach. We got Marty Lees, who coached was an assistant with us previously. Then he got the head coaching job at Washington State. He didn't do as well as he wanted to or as we thought he would. So there was an opportunity to get him back, and we got him back. So what a coaching staff and what a new stadium. And I think that our whole objective is to make Cecil Obey proud of that team that's going to take the field in that new stadium it is.
And no matter what sport it is, new, better facilities always seem to help recruiting.
Well, recruiting is the lifeblood. You know, if you're a university, it's all about the students, and absolutely the same thing on the athletic side. You're only as good as the quality of the talent that you're bringing in. So those facilities are like a lure for a big bass. So you got to have the right lure out there if you want to catch that lunker. And we hope that that stadium is a difference maker for us and for many, many years to come. We think we've got the coaching staff that can make a difference in the life of young people. And we hope to get some kids in here that could play at a high level in university or at college, and then maybe have a dream to play in the major leagues, and we're going to help them make that dream come true.
Josh has been on a couple of times with your recommendation, and we appreciate that. It's always been impressive to me that he was hired as a head coach at a fairly young age. Of course, you were a golf coach at a fairly young age as well. But his personality and demeanor is just outstanding and represents the university in a first-class way.
Yeah, I think if you were going to draw up a description of what you're looking for in a head coach or a leader, I think Josh Holliday checks all the boxes. And you could say the same thing about his brother, even though he's never been a coach before, he's just a player. And I think it goes back to Tom and Kathy Holliday.
Yeah.
They raised 2 sons. I don't know if I've ever seen either one of them have a bad day. They were always upbeat, positive, got a great outlook on life. They've got a real central purpose. They've got the right values. And then I think you'll turn around and see them do the same thing as fathers, as husbands, make a difference in the world. And you know, Josh Holliday, when he was introduced as our coach, he talked about growing up at Allie Reynolds Stadium, out there on the hill and left field, and what that meant for him to watch Robin Ventura and Pete Incaviglia and all those great athletes. That's where he kind of fostered the dream to be a difference maker and a coach, and then to see it come full circle and him be our leader now. That's what we hope to do in this new stadium, is have young people there, from babies up to adolescents, whatever age, somebody that might buy into the dream of coming to Oklahoma State University and make a difference for our university and go out and make a difference in the world. And you're right, Josh Holliday is a special guy. I enjoy talking to him, being around him, and I think that's why he's done a great job, but I think in the future he'll even do a more significant job and have a bigger role in our athletic department for our university.
Like most universities, you run into problems being landlocked when you're talking about new facilities and where are we going to build this. And I know you guys undertook a process maybe 10 years ago or so where you kind of laid out the future of facilities and what you're going to be investing in, and how has that played out through the years? I assume it's always evolving.
Well, you know, it started before I was even the athletic director, just as the golf coach, and we had built Karsten Creek, which I think is the finest collegiate facility out there for golf. And I wanted all of my brothers in the athletic department, the head coaches, to have the same advantage that I was enjoying. So I had a friend, Boone Pickens, and at that time he had a lot of money, and he agreed with me. So we set about buying what turned out to be about 100 acres north of Boone Pickens Stadium. It was rental houses, some single family homes, some apartment complexes, and over the course of 2 or 3 years, starting in 2004 through 2006 or 7, we acquired all that at the tune of about $50 million. And then we cleared it, and that was the canvas upon which we've painted these facilities. And really, after we finish baseball, there's going to be one left that'll actually go in what we call the athletic village. That'll be an indoor track, a track that we want to be able to attract the national championship for indoor track. And I don't know when that'll happen. It always comes with a lead donor like Cecil O'Braid or Sherman Smith for our indoor practice facility, or Neil Patterson for our soccer stadium, Boone Pickens for Boone Pickens Stadium. It takes someone that has the money, the wherewithal, the financial wherewithal, and a belief in the vision that you've laid out to kind of make that happen. So it'll be pretty special to get O'Braid Stadium open, but it'll be even more special to get that final piece of the puzzle put in there with that indoor track.
We ought to jump and get us to our first break. Our guest is Oklahoma State Athletic Director Mike Holder. We're discussing all things that have to do with the athletic program, and we'll be back with more after this.
OU Law has a history and heritage that are unparalleled. At the University of Oklahoma College of Law, we empower our students to pursue the career of their dreams. We have the highest U.S. News ranking ever achieved by an Oklahoma law school. We are the first law school in the country to launch a college-wide digital initiative. And this year, our competition teams rank number 2 in the nation. OU Law, generations of excellence, limitless possibilities.
The good life comes naturally to Tulsa, where nature's beauty is matched with an eye for aesthetics. A legacy of neighborhoods graced with lawns and landscaping and handsome homes. A place that seems to have patented an ideal lifestyle. Bank First is loyal to the quality of life Tulsa assures its citizens, to the priority placed on education, culture, and growth. Loyal to builders who transform raw land into residential charm. Developers who see opportunity and add vitality to Tulsa's economy. Bank First serves both enterprise and private lives that need a loyal partner. It's how we help nurture this city's very good life. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. Our guest today is Mike Holder, the Athletic Director at Oklahoma State University.
Mike, just briefly, I know that Boone Pickens was a good friend of yours. I guess the loss is of course significant to you personally as well as the university.
Yeah, other than my mother, father, wife, daughter, most significant person in my life. You know, I've never met another one like him. I don't know that there'll ever be another one like him. He did some unbelievable things. He made a lot of money. People like to focus on that. But the most extraordinary thing about him was the kind of person he was, you know. And he gave all that money to OSU, over $600 million, no strings attached. Never tried to big time anyone, never tried to call all the shots, run the show. When he would come into our football stadium, he would talk to everyone. It didn't matter who. And he made them all feel special, you know, like king for a day. And he'd go in the restroom, and if it were water splashed on the lavatory, he'd clean it all up. I mean, he was just a common man that did extraordinary things in his life. So he left a big void, big hole for us. And I said more so than the money is the kind of person he was, demanded that we play by the rules, that you didn't have to cheat to get ahead. and he lived that every day in his life. So I can't ever, there's not a day goes by that I don't think about him, don't give thanks for him, don't miss him, and look forward to the day I'll see him again.
I'm guessing that you've talked to some of your other wealthier donors and said, you know, I sure would appreciate you guys would step up and help fill the void. I mean, you may not find a duplicate, but his loss is going to be significant,
Well,
you know,
sure
down the line.
But you know, before he gave the first big gift, $165 million, his fear was that would stifle all giving, that everybody would either be jealous or offended and just say, well, let old Rich Boone Pickens take care of everything. And it was just the opposite. He inspired people. He gave hope that if you would give to the best of your ability, it would make a difference. And it's been an extraordinary transformation, not just in athletics, but across our entire campus. And I think it's given us a renewed purpose and a stronger, more compelling vision for the future of what our university can do and what a difference it can make in the world. So I think what will happen is he's going to inspire someone else at our university to do more than him, give more than him, and I think it'll do likewise around our country. It shows what extraordinary giving looks like and what a big gift really is. It used to be a huge deal to get $1 million gift at Oklahoma State University before Boone Pickens. I think it's maybe 100 of those since he gave that big gift. So
wow.
He's redefined what generosity is for Oklahoma State.
Let's talk about a few of the sports that are in the process of getting started.
Okay.
Let's start with one of your favorites, I'm sure, the golf team. Talk about the prospects for Cowboy golf.
Oh, we had a huge disappointment last year. You know, we won the medal play portion of the national championship by 31 or 32 strokes. And unfortunately, they don't give the trophy out after the medal play. That's 72 holes, and then you go into match play. And the Texas Longhorns, of all people, solved the riddle of our team last year, and they beat us in extra holes. And gosh, the finality of that, the disappointment. And then we had two extraordinary players, kind of generational talents on the same team, in Matt Wolff and Victor Hovland. Matt Wolff was a sophomore, Victor was a junior. Both had eligibility left, and both decided to go out and pursue their future on the PGA Tour, so that left a huge void. And it's been a challenge for our team to get back up and running. We've got some talent in the roster, but it's young. And so we haven't set the world on fire this fall, but I think with our coaches and Donnie Doran and Alan Bratton, they'll get it figured out this spring, and I think we'll be a lot more competitive this spring. But I like contending for national championships, you know, and they do too. So I don't know that we'll be there this year.
We've talked a little bit about Josh Holiday personally, but let's talk about Cowboy baseball. How do they seem to, what's the prospect for this spring?
Well, I think we've got a chance to win the conference championship. I think we've got an opportunity to get a super regional and maybe make it to Omaha. And if we get to Omaha, I think it's proven that anyone there can win the national championship. So I'm an optimist, so I think we might just hoist that national championship trophy. We hadn't had one since 1959. What better year than the year we dedicate O'Brate Stadium? So let's think big. Let's dream big this year.
What about your women's athletics?
You know, I'm a big fan and advocate of women's athletics. We've never won a national championship for a female team. I think that's going to change here quickly. Maybe golf or tennis or softball. Across the board, we want to be competitive.
Well, you're competitive in soccer, I know that.
Absolutely. We just had a great season, won the conference championship. So softball got to the College World Series last year. I see no reason they can't get back. Our women's golf team went from not making regionals last year to ranked 15th right now. We've got another recruit coming in at semester that should probably get us at least in the top 10, maybe even the top 5. If you're there, you got a chance to win the national championship. So I'm expecting big things out of our female athletes this spring.
We had a show last week on nutrition. It got me to wondering that's got to be something that it's important in an athletic department as well.
Yeah, you've got to recruit the best, and then you've got to have state-of-the-art strength and conditioning. You've got to have the best in sports medicine, and then the other piece of that is nutrition. You've got to fuel the body to achieve at a high level. So I'm really proud of our nutrition offerings, our training table, everything that we do on the nutritional side of our athletic department. I'd like to think we're on the cutting edge, but you could probably ask every athletic director, and that's going to be his song and dance. We're no different.
Well, is there like a prescription given to some athletes or all athletes? You know, these are the foods that you should be eating to perform better?
Absolutely. The challenge is getting an athlete at 18, 19, 20 years of age to buy into that. They're fortunate that at that age they can eat just about anything and probably still perform at a pretty high level. What they learn at this age in our athletic program will probably do them a lot more good when they get to be 30, 40, 50. Maybe they'll reflect back and they'll cut back on some of the fried foods and they'll eat a little bit better. But it's amazing the difference you can make in the near term with young people. Some of them are a little more mature than others, so it's there. We're going to feed you with absolutely the best fuel available, but if you're not quite ready for that, we'll still put some not quite as wholesome, but still wholesome food out there for you that may please your palate a little bit better.
Talk about men's and women's tennis. How are they doing?
Extraordinary. We're going to host a national championship at Stillwater this year. And there's only just a small number of opportunities to do that. Men's and women's tennis, you can. Golf, men's and women's golf, you can. You can do it cross country and indoor track. That's about it. You know, I can't think of anything else. Everything else has gone to bigger venues and more national scale. So to have a chance to get the best and brightest tennis players from all over our country into Stillwater for what is about a 14-day event, huge opportunity for us, and we're not taking it lightly. We want to set a new standard for what the national championship for tennis should look like, and selfishly, we'd like to get it back in the future, maybe every other year, every third year, every 5 years. We'll take it every chance we can get.
What about John Smith's wrestling team?
I think we're trending in the right direction. We're spoiled in that sport. We're used to winning the national championship, and right. Penn State's kind of claimed the high ground right now. That's temporary. We're going to do something to get back there at the top where we belong. And John's had some great success recently on the recruiting trail, which, as I said earlier, it's the lifeblood of everything. So I like the direction. I think we'll get some more championship trophies in the near future for wrestling. And then I might also mention for tennis, I shouldn't talk anything about tennis without mentioning Mike and Ann Greenwood, who provided the league gift for our tennis complex and provided the opportunity for host that tennis championship. So thanks to them.
We got about 30, 60 seconds left. What do you want the viewers from Oklahoma to know about the athletic department at Oklahoma State?
Well, if you've got a son, daughter, granddaughter, whatever, anyone that is of age to come to a university, you need to come to Oklahoma State, because never been a better time to be a cowboy or a cowgirl, and extraordinary things are happening all across our campus, and we stand for all the right things. So join hands with us and let's change the world together.
All right. Mike, thanks so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate the
invitation. Congratulations on all the success that's taking place inside the athletic department.
Thank you.
Kent and I'll have a final word when we get back.
It used to be okay in teachers' lounges. It used to be okay in maternity wards. It was okay in sporting arenas, college campuses, and office spaces. But now that we understand the deadly dangers of secondhand smoke, that's not okay anymore. So why is it okay that thousands of employees are exposed to it every day at work? Bottom line, it's not okay. Let's protect hardworking Oklahomans. Join the fight at stopswithme.com.
All children deserve a life of hope and love, but sometimes they experience a life of pain, neglect, and abuse.
When that happens, each child deserves all the quality assistance and representation that can be offered in our legal system. For more information, call 23-CHILD.
Oklahoma Lawyers for Children, helping to bring hope and love back to the lives of abused children.
You will always be Mom and Dad to me. I really think people are so unaware of the number of kids waiting just in Oklahoma. And I think if more people knew that those children were out there waiting, you know, I think that just by the way we live our lives and the people we talk to, that maybe we can help encourage adoption from Oklahoma.
You will always be Mom and Dad to me.
The Journal-Record is pleased to be a sponsor of The Verdict. The Journal-Record, since 1903, the best source of Oklahoma business news and legal information.
Welcome back to the set of The Verdict. You know, sometimes I think Oklahomans forget just what a success story Mike Holder is. Of course, the university has a long line of successes in athletics out there, but Mike's career as a golf coach really are unparalleled across the country.
Yeah, he won, I don't know how many national titles, close to a dozen national golf championships, and he became golf coach at a very young age.
He did.
He was just right out of college and quit playing and started coaching.
Yeah, OSU's done that a handful of times and almost always been successful. Myron Roderick was the wrestling coach at a young age. John Smith was the wrestling coach at a young age. And so it goes to show that you know, if you find the right person, age shouldn't be a hindrance.
Well, they've really got a great program going at Oklahoma State, and we're just pleased to give you an update on it.
Let me give you some website information, more information about Mike and the Cowboy and Cowgirl Athletic Program at okstate.com. And then we have a website, theverdict.tv. Love to see you log on and tell us about a guest or a subject you'd like to see us discuss on a future show. And we hope you enjoy here in this new year of 2020. We look forward to bringing you more guests that you're going to enjoy throughout the year. For Kent Meyers, I'm Mick Cornett. We'll see you next time right here on The Verdict.